Greetings and welcome to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. And Sir Daniel, we have made it through another year, sir.
We sure have. Q Points Podcast is the podcast dropping the needle on Black music history. And like you said, 2024 acted like it had somewhere to go. Like they couldn't, they came inside, they didn't want to she didn't want to put her purse down. She didn't want to take off her jacket. She was just fluttering about the place and just got the hell up on out of here.
Yes.
Because in less than a few days, we will be, like you said, stepping into the new and an unknown territory of 2025. And that is exciting and scary at the same time, considering what we've been through over the past year.
Yes, indeed. You know, it's putting all of this in perspective. One of my true highlights is the fact that we get to do this show.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something. Since COVID, it has been like, for real though, for real. So I am excited to experience 2025 because, you know, it's a new year, you know, not even new year, new me, just new year, right? Same me, new year.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also just like, okay, girl, let's see what you give.
Let's see what you got. Come on, hit me with your. Well, no, let me not say
Hit
that.
me with your best. Nah, you know what? Take that back.
Because 2025 will come around here and just start
Molly whopping us all.
Right, just dragging us and just wrecking the house as soon as they come in the door. So what we are going to do is we're going to be very demure, and we're just going to have a
mindful
nice and very mindful of the things that we have come across in 2024. And we're going to do it the Q Points way. You know, people like to come up with a top 10 list. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do that. What Q Points is going to do, we are going to list the good, the gag, and the ugly of 2024. And before we get into all of that, J. Ray, if 2024 had a theme song, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be a song that came from 2024. It could just be a song that just pretty much sums up what this year was giving.
Oh, you know what? Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. I think Squabble Up actually summarizes 2024 really well. It's just like, listen, what you got? Let's go.
You know what? You're right. You're right. And on the flip side of that, what I will say is my song that will help you describe 2024 would be Sheena Easton's Strut.
Okay, yes.
2024 said strut, pout, put it out. It's like, what you doing here? We want to see what you got.
Yes.
You want to see what you got, and it's going to be a lot of foolishness. Mm-hmm. There was some fun.
Yes.
There were some tears definitely shed, yes. But that's life, right?
Indeed. So but listen, man, that's the thing. We keep going.
So let's just get to it. Mm-hmm. To the good. Mm-hmm. J. Ray, what was your good of 2024?
I have had a lot of goods in 2024, yes. But if I am going to pick one good, it is the fact that I got to participate in the Air New Voices Amplify, which was for Q Points, right? That was one, I applied for it. It's different when you apply for stuff and you get it. That just feels really good, right?
Yes.
I applied for it, I got in, and I also learned a lot that we get the opportunity to use here for the show. And I feel like I also contributed a great deal. I made friends. You know, I got like friends, and some came to our end of the year kickback that we had. And mm-hmm. I am very proud of that experience. And that is one good that I would like to highlight. What about you, man?
Before I say that, I will echo what you said. Not only did you make friends, but there's a lot of people who, how do I put this? They swear by, y'all listening, they swear by J. Ray in this industry. J. Ray is like the go-to person when it comes to all things podcasts, logistically, and that truly is his gift. I'm saying that I don't mind. I'm not gassing you.
Mhm.
This is truly how I feel. You know, I say it all the time that it's truly your gift of foresight and just organization, which a lot of us scatterbrains really depend on people like Jay Ray,
Scatterbrain.
you know, to make things happen.
Mhm.
So yes, I totally agree with you on that aspect. And yes, you rocked 2024. 2024 was I'm proud of myself also for 2024 because my boat got rocked in 2024. You know, I had
Yeah.
a big life change
Yes.
that a lot of people experienced this year. You know, I lost my job. I
Mhm.
lost my main source of income. And as a creative, trying to, you know, keep the lights on and but also do your thing, it forces you to become creative and
Mhm.
it forces you to really, you know, rely on your faith and really see what you're made out of.
Mhm.
And in the midst of all of that, I've had some really great opportunities. Like I was invited by quite a few of my peers to appear on various at various DJ gigs,
Mhm.
which you know I did without any fear or trepidation.
Mm.
That's something that I put way behind me. I I literally don't have time for that. The nerves allow me to put more preparation
Yeah.
into what I'm doing and to really create a vision that I want to see happen. And so it's allowed me to really expand and flex my muscle and just to really step in and present myself as, you know, the best at what I do or what I, you know, and doing.
Mhm.
And that's not just as a DJ, but as a podcast host. We've
Yes.
had several opportunities. Opportunities. Shout out to the folks at Afros and Audio
Yeah.
who took us from a small classroom to the main floor to do our
Yes.
presentation this in 2024. So I'm very happy for the personal growth that I've experienced along as professionally alongside you, J Ray. So 2024, you know,
You try.
you tried a little, you know, you tried a little bob and weave with me, but you know, I bobbed and weaved back, and
Yes.
I stood up and I took my licks, but it's like I'm still going. I'm still
Yes.
going. You cannot. What's that mean? You
You.
cannot fool me. You cannot trick me. 2024. So no, but yes. So that was my good. And I just foresee more good and gooder
Yes.
for Q Points for the Q Points crew in 2024.
Yes. In 2024, and
I
then
mean
definitely in
2025.
2025.
Yes.
Yes. Um, so to that point, you know, there's always something, right?
Always.
That's kind of like it's not good, it's not bad, but you know what? It's kind of like the gag, right?
Oh, yes.
So for you, because I had to think about this and I got a good one.
Okay.
What's your gag for 2024?
You know what? I'm glad you asked me that, J Ray. Because what has really gagged me all year long is I am you know, I'm like the rest of you out there. I partake in my social media,
Yes.
and I have my, you know, I indulge in foolishness online, and I see a lot of stuff that's happening, but I am perpetually gagged when I see that we have turned some of the most unlikely people into superstars. A prime
Wild.
example, here's my biggest example. You all out there, I'm pretty certain, are familiar with who Shamarko is.
Yes.
And or as he's known as Big Mako, Clock That T. You know who Shamarko is. Shamarko is a bona fide rock star, and I'm putting rock star up in air quotes right now. But he is a bona fide rock star who went from being ridiculed and made fun of online because of his. It's very clear that he has some. Is definitely a birth defect. He is a form of scoliosis, and he's shaped funny.
Yeah.
He's he definitely has a lot of dental challenges with the crowded teeth, and everybody's concerned about his where he lands on spectrums.
Correct.
And his mental health. And he has gone from fighting a lot in the streets, fighting with various people, being ridiculed, people running up on him and recording him to make fun of him, to becoming a well-paid performer, someone that actually has a song that is playing in certain types of clubs.
Wow.
But now, because of his heightened visibility, because of social media, he is able to command appearance fees and performance fees. He's traveling.
Good for him.
They're rolling out the red carpet for him. Now, here's the thing, Jerry. I don't know if it's good or bad. I know it's good in the sense that he's not begging, or he's not begging for money online like he used to. It was like every other morning he was begging people to cash app him to pay for a new phone. It looks like he's able to sustain himself.
That's good.
Food, clothing, and shelter wise. I am concerned of how long this bubble will stay inflated. Okay. Because as we all know, when they're vulnerable people that get that get these kinds of opportunities and are and become famous overnight, there's always people on the sideline waiting to with their hand out to get something, to use their name to get their own money, or just waiting for him to fail.
Yes.
And I like the rest of y'all, I get my laugh and I kiki about stuff too. But at the same time, as a human being, I'll be like, damn, is he, I would hate for him to go back to what he was going through. And I just don't know. And it ain't none of my business really, but I just don't know if he has that kind of support to keep him afloat, or to keep the momentum of his career.
Yes. This is a career at this point. Yeah.
It's a career for him at his point. And but again, to my main point is that social media is taking the most unlikely, sometimes some of the most undeserving people that we just don't necessarily, in our opinion, look like or feel like they're actually talented or anything. And that's just the bewilderment of social media at this point. But I continue to be gagged at what social media has done for individuals, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yes, that is a very real thing. Yes to that. And I want to encourage us all. Let's stop making people who don't deserve it famous in 2025.
Good luck.
There are, Sir Daniel, I promise you mentioned these two people. I'm not going to mention their names here because that's shady. But there are two people that you text me about regularly that I'm like, I still don't understand why these people are like a thing. Like, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. And that's okay. Yeah. Everything ain't for everybody. Ain't that what Jill Scott said?
This sure did, yeah.
And so some of these folks ain't for everybody. Let's stop making some of them famous. But I dig that gag. And I had to think about this one a bit. And actually my gag is related to my good.
Okay.
So here, and you know what? I'm gonna walk in this a little bit because I was gagged. You were actually in the room when this gag happened. As part of my Air Amplify New Voices opportunity, I had the opportunity to present on SEO, right? It was just very random. I had talked about SEO and then they were like, oh, would you like to present on it? And I did a little deck and presented on it. the like a week later or whatever. Well, at the end of the cohort, they were asking people like, okay, well, what did you get the most out of? Blah, 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 blah. And people were going down the line. Here's what I got the most. And one of the people, and I was so grateful, but also gagged, was like, actually, the one thing that I really got a lot out of was Johnny's presentation on SEO. And I grew by like 200%. And I was like, oh,
Wait a minute, 200%. We need that at home, J. Ray.
I know. Oh my God. I believe it was 200%. I'm gonna go back and listen.
Okay.
But either way, it was a lot of percent. Okay.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. And so the gag was, I'm sitting here in this room, right? Amongst these people who are incredibly talented. And I needed to be reminded that I am also talented and I am
Yes.
also in this room. And so I was gagged at the fact of like, oh God, okay, I see you, God. Because you ain't even had to, she ain't have to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And none of that had to happen. But she said it. And I was just like, oh my God, thank you.
Absolutely. Yes, you're right. You're right. And you know what? The exercise for you then is to not let that gag you anymore. You should be like, you know what? I received that.
Yeah.
I work hard at this. I'm not
Yes.
gagged anymore. I get it. I know why y'all love me. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing too for folks who are listening to this is step out, lean into your gift, right?
For sure.
Lean into your gift, because here's the thing. You do this too, Sir Daniel, I'm sure. Like, what the stuff that we do is kind of second nature. It's just like stuff that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But literally, there are people out there in the world that are amazed. I am amazed. I see you up there with those, like with the vinyl, and like you be like blending and stuff. Listen, that's not my ministry. I respect it so much. It's amazing to me, right? And we have to lean into that. I do things that people are like, wow, that's a
Yes.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so for everybody listening, lean into your magic, whatever that magic is. And you might have a lot of magics, baby. Sprinkle that thing. What Rob B has been saying. Rob B said, shine your light so bright that it inspires other people to shine theirs too. Because guess what? It's a whole lot of folks out here that aren't able to do that. So if you are, baby, go big. When Leo say big, go big.
She said, go, no, don't half-ass.
Your whole
ass. That's exactly right. You're absolutely right. And I'm gonna say this last piece and before we hop to the next part. But yeah, your talents, they're gonna make a way for you. That they teach that in the Bible. A lot of people say that all the time, but it's true. Your talents will make a way for you. And when you think like the conventional way of things that you've done stops working, that talent that you have, somebody's going to recognize it and it will make a way for you, whether that's getting you a couple dollars until a payday or starting a brand new career. So I receive everything you just said, J. Ray.
Yes.
And it's funny, the talents that we're talking about, yes. I love working with vinyl and I love DJing, period. It's, I really do feel happiest when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And that's why I, when the people that I look up to in the art, a lot of those people actually passed away in 2024.
Yes.
And so there were some deaths that really shook me, this year. I mean, they always shake you, especially when it's people that you grew up admiring.
Yeah.
But it really shook me like this. I would say the passing of Mr. C, then Fat Man Scoop, DJ Polo, and then Clark Kent.
Yeah.
All within the same year. I was like, whoa, hold on, 2024. Hold on, life. What is really happening here? And each and every single time that we would commemorate them, and you hear about the people that have been influenced by them and the things that people were able to glean from their careers or that they took from them in some form of mentorship. It just made me more appreciative of the more immediate people that are in my circle, because
Yeah.
I know who those gentlemen are. I was not close enough to reach out and touch them, but
Mhm.
there's plenty of people in my circle who mean a lot to me and are very instrumental in their they probably don't even know it, but
Yeah.
are very influential on me as a DJ. And so that made me those deaths made me appreciate those people more,
Mhm.
especially when I get to reach out and talk to them and see them at events. Like I got to see a whole bunch of people at this most recent Crafts and Crates,
Mhm.
where we had a surprise a guest performance by
Nick-
Nicolay, which was really awesome.
Shout
So
out to Nicolay and the Foreign Exchange,
you
man.
know, so yeah, so that those things really shook things up for me for 2024. Was there a death in particular this past year that kind of,
Hmm.
rocked you just a little bit?
Recently, actually, so this is personal. There is a brother here. I went to the viewing just yesterday.
Mm,
And we grew up together, like literally, uh, he was my neighbor when I was like a kid. So we was like little kid friends,
right.
right? He lived right next door to me. We lived in row homes, and
Mm-hmm.
he was connected. And my age, and he passed away, and that was wild. Um because it's also happening what seems like more frequently. And so I actually went early on purpose. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get in here early and I won't see a lot of people, right? Because I knew I wasn't equipped to do the funeral. And I actually happened to see another brother that I went to high school with, and he was like, man, I guess this is our season where this is now, our parents would go through that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
this is
Mm-hmm.
our season of like going through that. So that definitely rocked me at the end of this year. Yeah. I and to the and in addition, I would say another thing that just kind of rocked me this year was the um watching the world be so polarizing, like it's either this or it's that.
Yes.
Um and with no nuance, with no what seemed like no critical thought. It was just like hate, or love, 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 love. And just like the casting away of folks has really
Oh
rocked
yeah.
me this year too. And has forced me to be, to just lean on my empathy. You say something that was kind of your motto, I think, for 2023. And it's that idea of giving people grace
Grace
and
and
space.
space. Yes.
um Really just being reminded of that, like give people grace and space, because it's hard out here in these streets. So between that death that happened super recently, but also just watching the world be on fire
Mm-hmm.
has been like, what?
Yeah.
So what I am looking forward to, though, and I think I said this in our kickback, is I'm dying to see the art that comes out. I want to see what we do. I want to see what other folks do. When folks feel pushed, like their backs are against the wall and they got to fight their way out like a cat. Some beautiful stuff can come out of that, and I'm looking forward to that beautiful stuff, because guess what? We're going to need beautiful stuff.
We are definitely going to need
Mm.
art. We are
Yes.
definitely going to need that. And that's why we're going to lift up the people, because what your experience or what we collectively experience,
Hmm.
whether it's the actual physical death of someone or the death of an era, like
Hmm.
what we experienced with those revelations and the polarizing the
Jesus.
country,
Right.
we're grieving.
We are
We are
grieving.
we are in a sense grieving, and I that's some people look at that as ugly, and it can get ugly. But I think, to me, what was really ugly about 2024 is this insidious feeling among, and I don't want to pinpoint and just rag on young people, but because it's not just young people. There are a lot of older folks who are facilitating and enabling them with this feeling of that there is no value on anything that happened before they were born. And there's no value regarding any art that was created before they were born. There's no, I've mentioned it before, and I don't even know who this young man is, but he referred to samples and old school music, quote unquote, as unk shit. First of all, that boy was as white as the palm of my hand. And I was like, first of all, why do you feel emboldened to speak on such things? To be able to
I have thoughts on that.
speak on the culture. And then when I see other things happening across the social media and the cultural platforms, where a comedian can feel emboldened to say something, to speak on or infer buck breaking on a major rapper because he feels like he's a comedian and he has full carte blanche to talk about black people and black women and just go beyond and say, and even infer that they're okay to use, they have a pass to use the N-word. And the only way that they can feel that is if you know who I'm talking to, y'all Negroes out there that have given them, yes, that have given them said pass. I'm always talking about those
Cut it off.
friggin' invites to the cookout. There's a whole bunch of y'all that I don't know if you all are on perks, you rolling on something, or you too drunk to realize that you are yet again enabling and abetting in the giving away and the throwing away of this culture, of the things that we created in this world across the diaspora. And so that, to me, that has become like really prevalent, and it's like a really ugly pimple that has just come up out of nowhere, of people wanting to just, lack of a better term, shit on the things that a lot of people paid with their blood to create, that you have benefited from, you continue to make money off of.
Yep.
And so that's my ugly, and I'm sick of it.
I have so many thoughts on that, and I do want to echo something that you just said. This young man who said this stuff has no connection to the history that he is now making money from. So he is literally making money off the culture that he has no critical thinking, he has no history, he has no connection to it. So he's able to just kind of fly off the cuff and say it. But here's the other thing that I know about that. To your point, he's had people in his circle that have enabled him to say stuff like that. And I have problems with y'all. My beef is with y'all. He's only saying the foolishness that he's saying because y'all let him say that. This is your culture, your legacy, your history, and we are a people who our ancestors and the people who the shoulders we stand on matter as much as what we create today. And if you don't get that, you've missed very, 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 very valuable lessons, and you got to go back and learn them. That's all I got. He stopped going over there. Stop giving him your art, because he's able to make money off of your back. Yep. He doesn't even respect your history, the history of your ancestors, the history that he's that you're continuing to move forward with and make money from. He don't respect none of that. Stop going over there. I'm looking at y'all. I don't care nothing about him. It's y'all that keep going over there to that man and giving him your brilliance. Stop it. I'm so sorry. We hadn't talked about him. I don't like that.
I don't like it at all. So yes, your two uncles have said what they had to say about it, and we're gonna leave that here in 2024. And I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about it no more.
On my list.
On my list. So that has been the good, the gag, and the ugly of 2024. Our Q Points 2024 year in review. J. Ray, let the people know.
Yes.
Nothing much has changed, but it is about to change some more for the good. But just let the people know how they can continue to watch us thrive and grow.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much. If you can see us, if you can hear us, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really do appreciate you. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button wherever you are. And if you could do us a solid and share the show with your friends, your family, your colleagues. If you love Q Points, chances are they will love Q Points as well. You can support us by visiting our website at qpoints.com. There you can catch up on all the old shows, taking you way back. We're up to we're getting close to 200 now, Sir Daniel.
Wow.
So, isn't that something? So in 2025, we will be into the 200th show. So going over to the website, check it out. Check out the old shows. You can also support us by visiting our website. By visiting our store at store.qpoints.com, where you can get some fresh gear and all types of other things. And, check out our blog, magazine.qpoints.com as well, where we have a lot of amazing content. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
Absolutely. So like I said, at the end of every episode, in this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J. Ray, y'all.
And this has been Q Points Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. We will see you on the next go round, and we will see you in 2025. Bet.
Indeed. Peace, y'all.